Hey, Yoko here. So we're going to try this one. It's the Advisor Episode 1, Royal Pain. So, not sure how long it is. It might be a couple different videos, so we'll see. Let's start. At the end of this session, you will be given a secret word determined by choices you make. When you receive your word, be sure to memorize it. Write down, as it will be great use moving forward. So it seems like it's going to be set up the same as the test, possibly. How did this happen? Billy Buckles. I can't believe I'm stuck here. What are they going to do with us? We're going to die in here, aren't we? Oh, Magnus. Highly unlikely. Oh, yeah? Why do you say that? Because the King's Guard don't typically slaughter prisoners in their cells. Okay. Well, that's a bit of good news, right? They would much rather drag us out into the town square and execute us in front of the townsfolk to make a public example out of us. So it has to be a big spectacle, not in a closed room. I thought you said we weren't likely to die. No, I said we weren't likely to die in here. It would be highly improbable and quite a waste when they could use our execution as a deterrent to those seeking to commit crimes against the kingdom. Well, you seem awfully content with our circumstances. Why are you so calm? There's no use worrying about what we cannot control. It takes valuable time and mental energy away from what matters, and that's finding a solution to the problem at hand. Or in other words, focusing on what we do have control over. Oh yeah? So then, I'm assuming you have some grand plan or something. It's really unfolding as we speak. Oh, there's Guardsman Taylor. Hey, what's all this talking going on? Do you know how to be quiet? We're sorry, sir. It won't happen again. We'll shut up right quick. Since when is speaking a crime? What was that, prisoner? He didn't mean anything by it. He just had a frog in his throat. I'm actually not sure that he was even speaking words. Actually, I think the real crime is that you think it's acceptable to walk up and ruin our perfectly good conversation. Really quite rude, if you ask me. What the hell do you think you're doing? You're going to get us killed. Well, it's a good thing I wasn't asking you, filth. I think someone ought to teach you a lesson for talking back like that. Well, now you've done it. I tend to find myself on a never-ending journey for knowledge. I would absolutely love to learn a lesson, if only there were someone here educated enough to teach it to me. Bloody hell, mate. Are you fucking mental? I think I've heard about enough out of you, scum. I'll be taking that tongue of yours. Hope you don't mind. Oh. Is he really? Now hold still. I don't want to hurt you. I just want to make sure you never speak again. I think I'm going to be sick. I can't watch this. Huh? What the hell is this trickery? Now, allow me to teach you a lesson. Oh, why should you never piss off a magician? Oh. You killed him. Wow. That would be putting it lightly, yes? Are you going to kill me? Not if I don't have to. So this means I'm free? I'm free, oh praise the gods. I will see the light of day again. Oh, that's a lot of guards. Well, that hope was certainly short-lived. I don't suppose you're housekeeping. It appears that I've made an awfully big mess. What? So this is the mighty Magnus Magician Pyromaniac Murderer. Oh my god. King Harold. I'm not sure. You make me sound like such a bad guy with that choice of tone, King. Yes, well, you don't have the best reputations across the land for being a good Samaritan. For example, if I were to look here at your list of charges, it would appear that up until moments ago, you've been held prisoner for setting blaze to, let's see, 4 barns, 3 merchant stands, a local inn, a stable, the library, the church, a farm just outside the castle containing my favorite cattle, and the orphanage. My god. The library was an accident. Yes, well, the list doesn't end there. Let's take a look at the casualties of your actions, shall we? If you insist. During your reckless pyromaniacal killing spree, you managed to incinerate 10 men, 4 women, several children, 2 dogs, and a cat. Wow. Excuse me, King. What kind of monster do you take me for? To think that I'd harm 2 dogs and a cat. That's what he's mad about. It's obvious to me that you not only lack a conscience, but along with it, a lack of self-control and ability to keep your mouth shut. I assure you, King, the ability is present. The desire is what's missing. Even still, I've come to realize that you're far too great of a threat to keep locked away in my dungeons, and I do not wish to make an enemy of you. Okay. Well, that's a surprise. You're smarter than you look. Wow. Instead of attempting to punish you, as I'm sure it would end poorly for my men, I would like to offer you a deal. I'm listening. A man of your power has obviously been around a while, seen many things in his journeys, discovered many secrets, read much in his travels about things outside of our lands. This would be an accurate assessment, King. Now get to the point, would you? I want you to be my royal advisor. That wasn't what I was expecting. You want me to advise you. That's what I said, yes. And you trust me enough for such a powerful position? Absolutely not. However, I'm taking a calculated risk. You see, Mangus, I can either let you go, or I can attempt to take advantage of the blessing that the gods have laid before me when you came burning your way across my kingdom. If I can give you a reason to stay in here, it means I don't have to worry about what you might do out there. And if I can give you enough of a reason to not betray me, then your expertise would come in handy with the problems we've been having around here. Okay. I find your offer interesting. To a man with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge and new experiences, interesting is about as good of a response as I can hope for. Again, I must say you are not as dumb as you look, King. If I were to accept your offer, what would I get in return? Well, what would you like? The man in the cells with me, who is he? Billy Buckles, a local merchant. He usually peddles various wares, whatever he can get his hands on to feed his family, so I hear. Interesting. What was his crime? Tax evasion. Tax evasion? You have him locked in the Royal Palace dungeons for tax evasion? He somehow managed to weasel his way out of paying for over a decade. By the time we found out, he had racked up over 3,000 shillings worth of debt to the kingdom. You don't say. A lowly peddler who acquires random wares that somehow manages to outsmart the king's tax collectors for that long? Something doesn't add up. What is it you're implying, magician? Well, either he's more intelligent and talented than he leads on, and common goods isn't the only thing Billy Buckles is peddling, or your kingdom is so poorly run that you need my help more than you'd care to admit. Both of these things may simultaneously be true, Mangus. I can confirm that it isn't easy to admit weakness for me, but what I've been doing hasn't worked for years, and I've dug myself quite the hole. My brother, Lord Farin, has waged war against my kingdom. My people are unsettled, which has led to economical depression. Food and supplies are getting more difficult to come by, and my army's morale is shifting southward. If I don't find a way to turn my kingdom around quickly, Farin will usurp my throne and take everything our father built. And that's where Magnus enters stage left, I see now. Yes, now you see. So will you help me or not? Billy Buckles, the merchant, free him from his shackles and let him go back to his family. Pardon him of his crimes and wipe his debt clean, and we will, sir, have a deal. Why do you care about some lowly old merchant man? Out of all the things you could ask for, you choose this. You see, Your Highness, your failure to comprehend the steps toward what I stand to gain from making this bargain is precisely why you're hiring me to turn your kingdom around instead of doing it yourself. As much as your words sting my soul, Magnus, I suppose you're right. I may not see the logic in your reasoning, but I do trust it nonetheless. Nope, now we may trust it. I think we've had enough small talk. Time is of the essence, yes? Perhaps we should get to the root of the problem and start solving some of these pressing issues. Okay. Agreed. We will start by asking you a plethora of questions. I want you to answer them for me. What? Sounds a bit like an interrogation. In a way, it is. Some of my questions will be to determine to what degree I can place my trust in you. And some of these questions will be to determine your level of knowledge in various areas. While I'm analyzing your problem-solving skills, I'll also be slipping in hypothetical situations and scenarios in which you will provide an answer that theoretically will help me turn my kingdom around. Then on with it, King. My participation comes from a willing mind, but my patience runs thin like the hairline you cover with that enormous golden crown of yours. Ooh. Well, now, you're just being nasty. No, that was a gentle observation. If you want to see nasty, you should see what I left splattered across your dungeon walls. Yes, I heard about Guardsman Taylor. He was one of my favorites. Whoops. We should probably get started. A stellar idea, Your Highness. I'm ready when you are. Then let us begin. Food supplies, nutrition, all important aspects of building and maintaining a strong army, and keeping the morale of the people trending upward. Okay. Let's see how resourceful you are and how quick of a problem solver you may be. Are you confident in your ability to determine which foods would best benefit a marching army? Maybe. I'm sure I could figure it out relatively easily. My mother always made me eat my vegetables. Would you consider yourself to be a healthy individual? Myself? No. Does consuming copious amounts of alcohol, burning down a village, blacking out, and then waking up in a prison cell count as being healthy? No. Would you consider yourself to be a good cook? Oh, and yes. I tend to do all my cooking myself. I don't trust others with my food. Are you able to follow directions for recipes easily? Yes. Do I come across as someone who struggles with reading? Of course I am able. Are you good at making up your own cooking recipes? I mean, I change recipes. Maybe. I'm unbelievably creative, I assure you. Have you ever fantasized about being in a cooking competition? No. I can't say that I have, but I wouldn't be opposed to setting things on fire. Do you feel like you have what it takes to win a cooking competition? No. I'm a man of many talents, though that may not be one I'm confident in. Are you able to identify and determine whether or not a wild growing fruit or vegetable is edible or toxic? Not all. Yeah, probably not enough. No, but I'd be sure to feed it to someone I don't like first, just in case. If you were in the wilderness and you had to forage to survive, do you believe that you would make it 3 months without any aid from others? 3 months. Maybe. I've been surviving on my own for nearly my entire life. I've never needed the aid of others. Do you consider yourself to be a capable hunter? I know how to do some hunting, so. An apex hunter, yes. Do you prefer to eat meat over vegetables? Yes. When available, of course. Are you confident in your ability to make a nutritious and filling meal with minimal ingredients? Yeah. You'd be amazed at what I can conjure when I put my mind to it. Do you think it's important to train the troops to be able to forage for themselves in dire situations? Probably. A soldier that cannot take care of themselves is a soldier worth keeping. What? Soldier that can take care of themselves is a soldier worth keeping. Do you feel like adequate nutrition is among the top priorities for a marching army? Probably. They have to keep their stamina and energy. An army marches on its stomach before it marches on its feet. Do you think the soldiers should get a choice in food they eat? Well, they're on the battleground. I don't think there's a whole lot of choice. You're gonna have to eat what you have. Soldiers should eat what they're given. The less decisions they have to make, the more focused they will be. Do you think it's ever acceptable to drink water from a still pond? Not straight. You have to purify it. Do you want dysentery? Because that's how you get dysentery. If your strongest soldier was hungry, would you give up your own food rations to fill their belly? Not all the time, but maybe. If it meant an increased chance of victory, surely. If there was only enough water to quench one soldier's thirst, would you have 2 soldiers fight to determine who gets the water? No. If we're short on water, soldiers fighting amongst themselves is the last thing we need. Do you believe that food is more important than water when preparing for battle? No. Of course not. Water is of utmost importance always. Do you think that you'd be good at managing all of the food and water intake of a marching army? Possibly. I think I'd be good at managing pretty much any task given, yes. Do you think it's more beneficial for an army to fight a battle on a full stomach or an empty stomach? Probably empty stomach provides something more to fight for. Fighting on a full stomach can drastically slow down a soldier's performance. Which do you think is a better skill to teach your troops, foraging or hunting? Both. I got that one. A soldier who can forage is far better off. Which do you think is a better skill to teach your troops? Gathering food or purifying water? Why purifying water? Purifying water is a skill that always comes in handy. Would you rather feed your troops a diet consisting of 90% meat and 10% vegetables, or 90% vegetables, 10% meat? Probably this way. A diet consisting mainly of vegetables will provide more nutrients overall. Would you rather have your troops resort to cannibalism in order to survive, or fight a battle while starving? Oh God. Resorting to cannibalism would drastically reduce morale. It would be better to fight on an empty stomach. Would you rather your troops fight a battle high on wild forest mushrooms, or drunk on the finest ale the kingdom has to offer? Okay, well, if they're high on mushrooms, they're gonna see things. So drunk would probably be the better. Even the finest ale the kingdom has to offer is still weak-ass piss water, so I wouldn't really be concerned about it having any adverse effects on their performance. Wow. Would you rather give extra rations to your strongest warriors or your weakest warriors? Well, I think the weakest. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Would you rather give food rations as a reward, or take away food rations as a punishment? Give it as a reward. Rewarding soldiers with extra food is always a great morale booster. If your troops are dying of thirst, would you rather they have tainted water or no water? Tainted water is going to possibly kill them quicker, so tainted water will lead to far greater problems. We'd have to find an alternative. If rations became scarce, would you rather starve yourself, reducing your mental clarity and tactical prowess, or starve one of your soldiers, weakening them before battle? I don't require much to eat. I've dealt with starvation on plenty of occasions, and my mental clarity has never faltered. If you could feed your troops food that increased their strength and endurance substantially, or different food that increased their agility and precision substantially, which would you choose? Endurance and strength, agility, precision. Probably agility and precision. Agility beats strength, precision beats endurance. Would you rather feed your troops food that makes them 10% smarter or 10% stronger? Honestly, go with the smarter. Brains beat bronze any day. Would you rather feed your troops food that gives them a massive burst of energy for 10 minutes, or a steady amount of energy for the prolonged energy? Slow and steady wins the race, or so I hear. If you were to capture enemy troops, would you rather feed them rations and keep them alive, or starve them to death? Well, if you keep them alive, you can find out information. I'm sure we could turn a foe into a friend with enough food. If you ran out of rations and had to resort to killing and cooking prisoners of war to sustain your troops, would you tell them or keep it a secret? Oh my god. I don't think I'd tell them. What they don't know won't hurt them. Your troops have been marching for many days, and your rations are nearly depleted. Wildlife in the area has been scarce in your travels, but there's a peaceful village not too far off in the horizon. What would you do? Send my men hunting and hope for the best? Ask the village if they wouldn't mind sparing food? Invade the village, take their food, continue marching. So, you could ask if they had extra food. I can be very persuasive with the locals. You've captured an enemy soldier who claims to be the best chef in all the land. He says that if you spare his life, he will cook meals for your troops that are more nutritious and will go further than what they're currently eating. What do you do? Execute the chef. One last mouth to feed. Let the chef go. I don't trust him. Let the chef cook for your army. Well, let him cook. Give the chef a chance. If he makes a poor meal, we'll just make him into the next meal, won't we? Oh, we've come across a potentially bountiful harvest of unknown mushrooms that could be added to your food supply. You're in a foreign land and you've never seen this type of mushroom before. An old man passing by claims that the mushrooms are good to eat. What do you do? Force the old man to eat a mushroom to test them. Trust the old man harvest. Eat one of the mushrooms yourself. Have one of your soldiers eat the mushrooms. Well, I don't think the old man has got anything to gain from it. Pretty good judge of character. I'm sure I could trust an old man with good reason. You're running low on funds for food rations. You need to choose which foods to cut back on. You must cut back by 10% on one of the 4 categories. So which one? Meat, vegetable, water, or grains? I mean, you can go without the meat, and the meat is the most expensive. So, a little less meat won't hurt us much. Your troops are starving. There's a big battle on the horizon. One more night's sleep, and your men will be off to war to decide the fate of your kingdom. You have a few dozen prisoners from the opposing army held captive. Your chef thinks that it might be a good idea to resort to cannibalism. No, it's not. What do you do? Force the prisoners to hunt food for your men. Secretly feed the prisoners to your men. Openly feed the prisoners to men. Fight. They can go hunt for food. If we're going to keep prisoners, they might as well be put to use. Yeah. A small fort rests just over the mountains, about a half a day's travel away. You have good intel that the fort contains a bountiful amount of food. If you were to overtake the fort, you wouldn't be able to stay long, as you must continue your march. You would only be able to take 20% of the food with you. On top of that, your men don't really need the extra food. Okay, well, you don't need the food. So leave the food alone, march on. Attack the fort, burn all the food. Attack the fort, take 20% of the food. Attack the fort, but leave the food untouched. Well, if you don't need the food, then just leave it alone. War is fought in inches. We don't need to take any unnecessary steps if we can avoid it. Your horses have grown ill from the bad weather in foreign lands, and you have a feeling that they're going to start dropping like flies in the next day or so. What do you do? Put the horses down and bury them. Put the horses down, harvest them. Continue riding on your horses until they drop. Sell your horses for a very meager ration. Well, maybe sell them. If we sell our horses for rations, we can let them be someone else's problem and save ourselves time, energy, and effort. Very good. I will be taking note of all your answers you give. Well, I would surely hope so. Now, how about we delve into the world of divine blessings, magic, and curses? Well, now you're talking my language, sweetheart. We'll see if you know as much as you let on. Do you believe that magic has the potential to solve all problems? No. No, but it does make problems a lot more fun to deal with. Do you believe in the power of divinity? Divinity. Okay, I think I know what that is. No, not really. You mean some form of higher power? I've yet to meet anything stronger than myself. Have you ever said a prayer? No. Casting spells seems to have quicker results. Probably true. Would you regret casting a spell on your enemies? I doubt it. If they've invoked my wrath, they deserve whatever's coming to them. Would you consider yourself to be superstitious? A little bit. Yes, and you would be too if you knew what was good for you. Have you ever been cursed or felt like you were cursed? At the moment, possibly. By an old hag in the woods, though I broke it when I incinerated her altar. She never did forgive me for that. Do you think that evil magic exists? Well, I mean, you're talking to a magician that just killed someone. So, I'm guessing like black magic. I'd have to say if good magic exists in this world, you have to have dark magic. Oh, I know it exists. If you were the most powerful magician in the world, would you choose to rule it? Myself? No. This character? Probably. What do you mean if? Regardless of your silly question, the answer is no. I'm perfectly content setting it ablaze one town at a time. Wow. If you could cast a curse on an entire group of people, would you do it? If you do it, yes. Like, are you supposed to be answering for, like, you're the character? Because if you're supposed to answer as the character, then he's definitely one that would. Surely, I've done so many times. Would you consider yourself to have a pure heart? No. What heart? Do you believe that what goes around comes around? Probably. Of course I do. Need I remind you of the mess I made in your cells? Have you ever wished ill upon your enemies? I'm going to, I think, answer as if you're the character, so I'm sure he has. Yes, quite frequently. Do you believe that everyone has their demons? Sure they do. Of course, some are just darker than others. Okay. Have you ever wished your enemies well? I can't see him doing that. Why would I wish my enemies well? Seems counterintuitive. Have you ever wished ill upon your loved ones? God, I would think maybe no. What makes you think I have loved ones? Okay. Have you ever wished ill upon yourself? I don't think so. Wishing ill upon myself is pointless. If I wanted to be ill, I wouldn't need to wish. I'd just need to listen to your yammer on and on about how you think politics work. Oh, wow. If you had a spell that could turn back time, would you use it? I don't think you would. I've done so before, and I don't think I'd like to go down that road again. Yeah, okay. If you had a spell that could blink you into the future, would you use it? No. I enjoy surprises. I think I'll take life at my own pace. Would you ever use your magic to make a living? I think it does. I've been doing so my entire life. Do you believe that magic has its limits? I think so. Everything has its limits. Would you rather be able to bless others or curse others? Wow. I think, oh my god, thinking he would prefer to curse others. Well, I can do both. I think I'd prefer to curse others if those are my only options. Would you rather be blessed with luck or intelligence? I'm sure he would prefer intelligence. I'm on a constant journey for knowledge. Intelligence knows no bounds. Yeah. Would you rather be guarded by an angel or protected by a demon? Pretty sure you'd prefer the demon. No matter what way you cut it, the result remains the same. I wouldn't need either of them to assist me. But if I had to choose, I suppose I'd pick the demon. At least I know I'd be in good company. Okay. Would you rather be able to read minds or talk to the dead? Probably read minds. Power to know what people are thinking as they're thinking it can provide a great deal of power over any situation. Would you rather be able to teleport someone besides yourself to a location far away once per day or teleport yourself once per month? I think he'd prefer to teleport himself. I'd rather teleport myself once per month. That way I could plan any escape with ease. Okay. Would you rather be able to heal wounds or cause severe magical harm? I think he already does the magical harm. I can already cause severe magical harm, but more is always better. Would you rather have the power to give someone life or instantly take someone's life? Well, you can already take someone's life. Let's try this one. Power to bring someone back from the dead is equal to none. Would you rather give up 1% of your own life to cast a spell or 5% of someone else's? I'm sure he'd prefer to take someone else's. 5% of someone else's life, and I'd cast the same spell 20 times over. Would you rather reign over a demonic kingdom or serve in an angelic palace? Oh my god. I think he'd prefer the demon side. It says better to rule in hell than it is to serve in heaven. If you had to choose between bringing a pet back to life or a person back to life, which would you choose? I had a pet. I'd sacrifice a dozen villages just to see my dog Jotko one more time. If you could turn invisible for 1 hour or breathe underwater indefinitely, which would you choose? Probably breathe underwater? But breathe underwater indefinitely is difficult to rival. If you could cast a massive fireball to incinerate your enemies or turn them against each other for an hour, which would you choose? Pretty sure he'd want the fireball. I'd rather get the job done quick and incinerate them all. Would you rather summon an undead army to fight for you or call upon the spirit of the dead to haunt your enemies? I thinking he'd probably go that way. An army of the walking dead could wreak havoc on both the living and their lands. This can be beneficial in many aspects. Would you rather bless your greatest enemy with wealth and power, or curse your own kingdom with terrible luck? My God. Wow. That doesn't seem very... No matter how much wealth or power they'd amass, one day I'd rise to claim it all. Would you rather have a pet dragon or a pet unicorn? Going off of the character, I'm sure dragon. Me, I'd prefer the unicorn. Pet dragon, easily. You've learned of an enemy church used by opposing forces for worship and prayer. Your troops fear that if the enemy is able to invoke the power of the gods, that it could spell doom for your army. What do you do? Assure my troops that no harm will befall them. Raid the church, burn it to the ground. Take the church over and convert it to your own worship. Slay the priests in the church and in defiance of their gods. Well, he's already burned down churches, so sure it'd be that one. Regardless of whether or not there's truth behind their fears, burning down a church sounds like a nice break from marching. Nice. A great magician has offered their magical services to aid your army in war. They request 10% of all your army's food rations, that claim that they can turn the tide in your favor. What do you do? Give them 10% of your rations for their services, reject their offer, part ways, threaten the mage and force them to work for free, haggle, and offer 5% rations, risking them walking away. Well, thinking he would think he wouldn't need help. I think I've got this part covered. Yeah. Word on the wind is that your kingdom has a curse lingering over it from sins of the previous royals that held the crown. The curse is said to make sure that your defeat is inevitable in any future wars you wage unless royal blood is spilled on your side. What do you do? Wow. Sacrifice the queen to break the curse. Sacrifice the king to break the curse. Have the royals give birth to sacrifice the newborn. Ignore the curse and hope for the best. Wowie. I don't know if he believes in that. I'm sure I can manage to break the curse through other means. A powerful priestess has come to your kingdom, offering blessings for hire. She claims to be able to grant your kingdom various blessings for the low price, 10% of your livestock to be donated to our temple. What do you want to do? I think he would do this. 10% of our livestock is not worth what she offers us. You've discovered the whereabouts of an ancient tomb containing the supposedly cursed remains of a long forgotten king. It is said that the wearer of the crown within the tomb possesses infinite power, but will eventually succumb to unending madness. What do you do? I'm guessing the current king? Leave the tomb alone. Keep going. Raid the tomb. Destroy the crown. Obtain the crown. Sell it for vast wealth. Keep the crown. Use it for your own kingdom. I leave it. That sounds like something we shouldn't meddle in unless we're prepared to suffer the consequences. Your ancestors have found a way to get in contact with you from beyond the mortal realm, and they wish for you to heed a grave warning of the battle up ahead. They claim that if you send your troops into battle all at once, they will all perish. But if you send your troops into battle in small 10% increments at a time, you will surely be victorious. You're unsure of how this could possibly win you the battle ahead, as it seems like all signs point to a guaranteed death of your army by sending in so few troops at a time. What do you do? Trust my ancestors. Send only 10. Send all of my army in force, full force, regardless. Send the first 10% of troops in and see what happens. Send 50%, followed by the remaining. Maybe do this one. I would trust their theory and advice at first, but if it didn't seem to pan out, I would go my own direction. Your army has just been decimated in battle, and you're one of the lone survivors returning home to give your king the news of your defeat. Okay? A wicked-looking woman comes to you in your dreams, tells you how to perform a ritual to bring your army back from the dead as mindless zombies in an effort to wreak havoc on the opposing kingdom for a second chance at victory. What do you do? Go back home, tell my king of our defeat. Go back home, tell the king of my vision. Return to the battlefield, attempt to perform the ritual. Ignore the vision, it was just a dream. Maybe see what the king thinks. I'm not going to let some old hag dictate my destiny through dream speak. Interesting choices. I'm beginning to understand more and more how your mind works. Oh, is that so? You're a very pragmatic individual, Magnus. I detect a hint of conscience within that soul of yours, but you balance it well with what needs to be done. That's cute. Why don't we move on to the next set of questions, as I'm sure you've got more for me. Perhaps something a bit more grim. I'm feeling rather grim. Then perhaps we should focus on espionage, warfare, assassinations, things of that sort. Okay. And afterwards, you can tell me how well you know me and how you've got me all figured out. Yes, proceed. Would you hire someone to kill your sworn enemy? I'm sure he would. I suppose if I wanted to relax for a weekend instead of doing it myself, sure. Would you hire someone to investigate another person and deliver valuable information to you? Sure he would. That's something I can see myself doing, sure. Do you believe that spies can be trusted? No. I don't believe that anyone can be trusted. Would you ever be a spy for your kingdom? I don't think Magnus would. I'm no one's messenger boy. Would you be an assassin if you knew you could always get away with it? I don't think so. Cloak and dagger isn't really my thing. I prefer a more direct approach. Do you believe you'd be able to spot spies in your inner circle? I kind of think he might be able to. I can sniff out a rat from miles away. Would you give the orders for an assassin to take out a high-ranking official, even if It would cost the assassin their own life. He would do that, I'm sure. Absolutely, for the greater good, right? Are you confident in your ability to devise an espionage mission that has a high chance of success? Pretty sure he would. I think that's something I could sort out, yes. If someone asked you to spy on a close friend or relative, would you do it? I don't think you would. I don't have any close friends or relatives, but if I did, no. If someone gave you more wealth than you knew what to do with, in exchange for information about your best friend that could potentially lead to their downfall, would you sell that information? I don't think he would. He doesn't seem to care about money much. No, but I may sell them false information. If someone was plotting to kill a stranger, would you get involved and attempt to stop it? No, it would not. It doesn't sound like much of my business. A well-placed spy is more powerful than a strong army. Do you agree? Well, could be. I think in most situations, yes. A well-trained assassin is more important than a smart king. No. Intelligent leadership is vital to success. You never really know someone until you know someone. Do you agree? I don't know if you ever really know someone completely, so... I typically know others better than they know themselves. It's important to keep your enemies close. Do you agree? Kind of. I prefer to keep them locked in my cellar. Okay. Are you good at convincing people to trust you? I think you would be. Well, you hired me, didn't you? Can you convincingly act saddened by an event that doesn't actually upset you? Oh my gosh. I don't know if he could. I think he would laugh like a lunatic. No, when something tragic happens, my true emotions are revealed by the smile on my face. Dead giveaway. That's what I thought. Would you consider yourself cold or ruthless at times? I think he is most of the time. Have you met me? If your loved one was a spy and they got caught, would you give your life to save theirs? I don't think he would. That doesn't sound like me. If you had a message for your king, but your life would be put in danger if you gave your king the message, would you still do it? Oh, he might, because I don't think he's that easy to kill. Oh, I do like a bit of risk. Which do you feel is more important for a spy, to know how to lie incredibly well, or be able to relay information with pristine accuracy and detail? I think they both are important. My God. I'd go with the one that would be most beneficial. At the end of the day, the fine details are what matter most. Would you rather train your spies with acting lessons or survival lessons? Maybe the acting. To know how to fit in with one's enemy is a fine trait to carry. Would you rather send 10 mediocre spies to gather information on your enemy, or one very talented spy? Quality over quantity, King. Would you rather invest 10,000 gold pieces into training the ultimate spy, or 10,000 gold pieces into training the ultimate assassin? A spy. I'd rather train the ultimate spy. I can do the killing on my own just fine. Would you rather have 100 soldiers to be trained as spies, or 100 spies to be trained as soldiers? Ooh. Probably the spies. Oh my god. Probably did this one. Soldier with the intellect of a spy could prove to be very deadly indeed. Would you rather reward your spies with gifts for their service, or threaten your spies with death if they fail? Try that one. Rewarding them for their work would boost morale, and morale is very important. If your spies were to get caught, would you attempt to save them or let them die in foreign lands? Ugh. Honestly, most people would do this one. If they're too foolish to get caught, they deserve the fate that awaits them. If you were to capture an enemy spy, would you execute them or try to convert them? Probably convert them. You have a double spy. We may be able to learn an awful lot from an enemy spy. If you found an enemy spy within your kingdom, would you torture them for information or offer them wealth in exchange for information? So, probably try this one first. What has been given can also be taken away. Would you be more likely to trust an enemy double agent who came clean, or your own kingdom's double agent who has been known to be untruthful in the past? Maybe. While it could be a ploy, this seems like the safer option of the two. If your best friend revealed that they were a spy for an enemy kingdom, would you turn them in or let them continue their mission? Maybe you could get them on your side. Well, this is why I don't keep friends. I'd most likely let them carry out their mission as long as it could benefit me somehow. If you were a spy and you were caught by the enemy, would you give up information in exchange for your life, or take your kingdom's secrets with you to the grave? Let's see. Honestly, for him, he'd probably give up the information. I just give enough information to survive. If you were a spy and you failed your mission and knew there was a small chance that your king would execute you if you returned home, would you take the chance and return home, or live alone in the wilderness for the rest of your life? I've been living in the wilderness for quite a while anyhow. Would you rather be in charge of training spies who are really good at escaping dangerous solo situations, or really good at rescuing others from dangerous situations? Probably get themselves out. A spy who can comfortably rely on themselves is a great spy to have. If you found out that your own king was corrupt, but this corruption could never affect you negatively, only benefit you, would you turn on your king to save the people, or let your king continue his corruption as long as it benefits yourself? So for him, as long as it benefited him, he would let it. If it benefits me, that's all that matters. A group of your best spies have just been captured by the enemy, and they're being Sentenced to death tomorrow at dawn. It took a decade to train these spies, and losing them would be quite a large hit to your kingdom. Attempting to rescue them could potentially cost you even more in resources and casualties. What do you do? Send a small group of soldiers to rescue them by force. Send more spies to rescue them stealthily. Threaten the enemy if they do not release them. Deny your spies' existence. They're lost. Maybe that one. A more substantial approach will most likely prove best. You've made a grave mistake and trusted an enemy spy that could cost your kingdom tens of thousands of resources. They plan to reveal themselves to your king as well as throw you under the bus in the process. What do you do? Attempt to kill a spy before he can reveal himself. Go to your king first, admit your mistake. Imprison the spy far away from the castle. Let the spy go through with his plan, hoping for the best. Probably that. If you cross me, that will be the very cross that marks your grave. You set one of your assassins to take out the opposing town's guards to weaken their defenses for attack. Instead of killing the guards one by one, your assassin has decided it would be easier to poison the town well, contaminating their water supply. That's the whole town. All the town guards have been successfully eliminated. However, thousands of innocent men, women, children have also fallen ill or died in the process. And the water supply is no longer usable. What do you do? Punish them for not following a more careful strategy. Reward them for thinking outside the box. Warn them to be more careful next time and let go. Strip them of their job title. They cannot be trusted. Maybe warn them to be more. I love their enthusiasm, but they need a bit of tact. One of your spies has stolen a great fortune from the opposing kingdom, but has stashed 50% of what they've looted in an undisclosed location for themselves. But what do you do? Demand they hand over everything they've obtained. Let them keep 50% of what they stole for efforts. They can keep 25%. Punish them for holding out on the kingdom. I appreciate the enthusiasm. They don't get to decide what they keep. You drift off to sleep for the night, but are awoken by the sound of crying. You open your eyes, see your lover hovering over you with a dagger. A steady stream of tears flowing from their eyes. They reveal they're supposed to assassinate you and that you've been lying, and they've been lying to you all along, but they can't go through with it because they're madly in love with you. What do you do? Give my partner a try to find a safe solution. Turn to my partner in. They cannot be trusted. Attempt to kill my partner before they turn on me. Tell my partner to leave and never return. Life for life. They can keep theirs, but they must go. You've managed to capture a spy from an opposing kingdom. They willingly give up all of the information about their kingdom, hopeful that you'll spare their life. Most of the information is relatively useless. What do you do? Execute them, imprison them, torture them. They must no more. Thank them and let them go. Throw them in the cells for giving such lackluster information. If they have something worth my interest, we can talk. You're in the royal chambers and you've been served a drink. Something seems suspicious about the beverage and you're almost 100% convinced that it's been tampered with, yet you have no proof. What do you do? Make someone else in the room taste the drink. Feign drinking it, play dead, and gauge reactions. Take a drink without mentioning anything. Dump the drink out and go about your business. Just dump it out. I do love risk, but the risk isn't worth the reward in this case. I think I'm going to stop pretending to know, because you continue to surprise me. Yes, I have that effect on people. It honestly is slightly terrifying, Mr. Magnus. Yes, I also have that effect on people. What other questions do you have for me, King? I can tell you're learning, which means I'm an excellent teacher. Quite enjoying how intelligent I feel around such lowly, imbecile creatures. Wow. Well, that was harsh. If I hurt your feelings, I assure you I wasn't talking about you. No? Then who were you talking about? Someone who looks just like you, and sounds like you, and wears a crown, and just so happens to be sitting in your throne. But someone who isn't me? What? I don't know. Sure. I've always been a terrible liar. Perhaps we should just continue with the questioning. That sounds like a swell idea. Do you believe that a strong defense is more important than a strong offense? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Best defense is a strong offense. I don't really know. Is iron stronger than wood? I think so. Obviously. Is wood stronger than brick? I don't think so. No. Are these real questions you're asking me? Is brick stronger than iron? I don't... Yeah, no. Really scrapping the bottom of the barrel with these questions now, aren't we? Is brick stronger than iron? No, probably not. Do you believe that war is more mental than physical? I think it's both. Feelings and emotions don't win wars. Actions win wars. Would you consider yourself to be an expert tactician? I don't think so. I prefer more direct in your face onslaught. Do you consider yourself to be physically strong? He doesn't look physically strong. What I lack in physical strength, I make up for in ravishingly good looks. Would you consider yourself to be athletic? I would think he probably is. I've been known to escape from a dangerous situation or two. Once I hopped over a guard's head and plastered him against the wall. You should have seen it. Do you consider yourself to be a genius? I'm sure he does. A smart man knows how smart he is. A wise man knows how smart he isn't. I am both. Do you consider yourself to be talented in one form or another? Sure he is. Absolutely both in one form or another. Would you give your life to save a stranger? I don't think you would. I wouldn't give my life to save my own life. Work that one out. Okay. Would you give your life to save a loved one? He just said he wouldn't even save himself, so no. In a parallel universe where anything is possible, still no. Would you sacrifice a stranger's life to save a loved one? Okay, that one you probably would. I'd sacrifice a stranger's life just for the fun of it. Would you kill someone in cold blood to save your best friend? Sure you would. Sure, once I killed a man in Reno just to watch him die. Would you accept payment in exchange for your aid in combat? Sure you would. Payment can mean many things. Yes, I would. Do you believe you could survive as a prisoner of war? Didn't he just do that? I'm sure, yeah. I believe I could survive anything. If you had to resort to cannibalism in order to survive, could you do it? Oh, I don't actually think you would. What do you mean resort to? As if it isn't something I already do just for the taste. Okay. If you knew you were going to die in battle, but your death could cause your kingdom to be victorious, would you still go to battle and participate? I'm sure I would. I'm confident in my ability to find my way back from the dead. Sure. If you knew that marching to battle would ensure the death of your entire army, but if you didn't march into battle, you would be imprisoned for treason, would you still march into battle with your army? For the death of your entire army. He probably would still. Better them than me. Yeah, see. Would you rather equip your army with many archers or many cavalry? Maybe the archers. I've always been partial to ranged combat. Would you rather equip your army with many cavalry or many foot soldiers? So this one, probably cavalry. Warriors on horseback are worth their weight in gold. Would you rather have 10 catapults with only 10 boulders to hurl, or 1 catapult with 100 boulders to hurl? Honestly, if you had them all ready to go, the 10 would do more damage in a short amount of time than the other way, because otherwise it's going to take a lot of time trying to reload it. So I'd use 10 catapults and make every shot count. Would you rather train your army to be resilient in cold temperatures or resilient in a hot? Both are bad. I think a lot of wars are done more in the warmer climate, though. Many battles will be fought in the sweltering heat. Would you rather equip your archers with longbows or crossbows? Probably the crossbows. Crossbows can fire bolts that will pierce through targets that arrows fired from bows cannot. I can't speak. Would you rather beat your recruits for failing in training, or starve at your troops for failure? Beat them or starve them. Both are bad. Well, either option sounds appealing. Hunger is a great motivator. Would you rather execute troops who commit treason against your kingdom, or banish them? Let's see. I think he would execute them. Execution is what they deserve. Would you rather live in a society where anyone can challenge a leader to a duel to the death to determine a new leader, or have the leadership be passed down from a royal bloodline? Well, I don't know. I I'll just go with bloodline. I find that kings are often made kings for a reason. I mean, that could possibly go wrong. What could possibly go wrong? If you had to choose between saving 5 family members or 1,000 soldiers in your army. So going off of him, he would probably save the soldiers. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or so they say. Would you rather be a judge or an executioner? I'm sure he would like both, but what? I can't be both? Oh well, I suppose I'd rather have the joy of taking someone's final breath. Would you rather be famous or infamous? Probably like to be infamous. Infamy far outweighs fame. If you don't have haters, you're doing it wrong. Would you rather win every battle, but never win a war, or be triumphant in war, but be devastated in every battle? I think he'd prefer to win overall. I'd rather win my wars. Ultimately, that's what's important. Would you rather be an expert duelist or an expert tactician? Picture him preferring duelist. At least an expert duelist, I can ensure my own survival. Would you rather possess superhuman strength? Superhuman intelligence. Okay, well, he wants intelligence, so being smarter is always better. Would you rather fight your battles using sword and shield or ranged weaponry? Pretty sure he'd go with the ranged. I'd rather pick my enemies off from a distance. But he's a magician. He's more standoff. Your men are preparing for war, and they're scared out of their minds. They're sure that they're marching to their deaths. It's your job to speak to them before the battle. What do you do? Tell them if they do not fight, they will be executed. Anyway, tell them of the riches there is to be had if they succeed. Tell them that gods always favor the brave. Tell them they must fight for their families to survive. Try that one. Thought of protecting their loved ones is often a man's greatest motivator. Word spreads through the rankings of a surging mutiny. At the head of the group of mutinous soldiers is one of your most skilled warriors. What do you do? Challenge the soldier to a duel to the death. Put the soldier in prison. Execute the soldier. Try to reason with soldier one-on-one and civilly. What? We can't have a mutiny on our hands now, can we? Your soldiers have been marching for many days. They're beginning to miss their families greatly. You feel a morale boost of some kind is in order. What do you do? Let them return home, but alternate them. Let them write home to their family. Tell them they can see their family when the war is over. Tell them their family is slaughtered by the enemy. What the hell? Just write to their family. I need my men focused, but writing home will remind them of what they're protecting. Enemy forces have abandoned their kingdom and seek to join yours. What do you do? Execute them, put them to work, welcome them to your army, turn them away. Maybe put them to work. Well, I can't trust them in our kingdom. We could find some use for them. A prisoner of war you've been keeping is trying to warn you of a conversion they overheard. The claimant from within your ranks is plotting your death. Confront my potential assailant directly. Ignore them. They're trying to turn us against each other. Turn the prisoner into your own personal spy. Warn your army of the consequences of betraying you. You can try to do that. Prisoner could provide to be useful, especially if I promise him freedom. Your army has decided to march on without you, fighting for their own cause instead of the cause your king has placed before them. What do? Join them, at least they're pushing forward. Abandon them, return home to your king. Convince them that their way is not the best way. Threaten execution or banishment for not conforming. If they were meant to be in charge, they would be. Mangus knows best. Your scouts tell you that a massive army is just over the hills, planning a devastating sneak attack on your kingdom. What do? Raise defenses and fortify the walls neatly. Send troops out to fight the enemy. Send troops to flank and ambush them before they strike. Send someone to negotiate with the enemy commander. Probably do this one. With limited information, we must defend ourselves and prepare for the worst. I believe I have enough information on this topic. I'm quite impressed, Magnus. You never cease to amaze me. After each round of questioning, you prove to be a wealth of knowledge. Or perhaps I'm just very deceptive. But you said that you're terrible at lying. Sounds like something a liar would say. I have one more round of questions for you. Answer these, and I will have a clear direction to take my kingdom in over the next 12 months. Oh, man. I'm here to help, King. Ask away. Let's see. How long has this been recording? Would you consider yourself to be a reasonable person? Yes, absolutely. Wouldn't you? Would you consider yourself to be an honest person? I think he is, with all my heart. Would you consider yourself to be loyal? Pretty sure no. Loyal, but by your standards, probably not. Loyal to myself, absolutely. Would you consider yourself to be more intelligent than the majority of your peers? Like he is, yeah, I'm sure he is. All my peers. Is blood always thicker than water? Well, in a literal sense, I believe blood is thicker than water. Technically speaking, yes. Are you able to go days without eating, without it negatively impacting your mood? It seems like you could. Yes, I'm always in a chipper mood, can't you tell? Is your social standing important to you? I don't think it would be. Social standing, please. I couldn't think of anything less important. Do you partake in alcohol consumption? That he said he already did, yes. I've been known to drain an ale house dry on occasion. Do you partake in drug consumption? I didn't hear anything about drugs. I prefer to keep my mind clear and remain in control. Are you of sound body and mind currently? I think he is. Always. Would you consider yourself to be trustworthy? I don't think he is. I'll tell you that I'm being dishonest before I lie straight to your face. Does that answer your question? Do you sometimes put yourself before others? I'm sure he does all the time. Whenever I can. Would you consider yourself to be selfish? I'm pretty sure he is. If I can help it, sure. Would you consider yourself to be somewhat evil? He has to be before he's done. I've been called worse. Would you consider yourself to have a good heart? Oh, this one's kind of tricky. Probably thinks himself to be yes. I'm not sure that I consider myself to have much of a heart at all. Do you have an incredibly guilty conscience? Doesn't seem like it. Oh, come on. Have you learned nothing about me? Do you love many people in your life? I don't think he has anyone in his life. I don't waste my time with such emotions. Do you consider yourself to be confident? Well, that one he is. Very much so. Do you consider yourself to be a fast learner? Guessing you would think. I taught myself how to conjure a plague in under an hour. Does that clarify? Would you consider yourself to be quick-tempered? That one he doesn't seem to be. I'm in calm regardless of the circumstances I find myself in. Would you rather be a leader? Well, he's not a follower. I see myself in charge of all things in my life. Would you rather follow a strong but mean king or a weak but nice king? Ugh. Strong but nice, weak. Okay. Honestly, I think he'd probably prefer a weak king because he could manipulate him. Weak king is easier to manipulate. Would you rather take the blame for something you did or take the credit for something you didn't do? I think he'd be more this way. I'd rather people know me for who I truly am. Would you rather fight a strong warrior to the death or play a fatal game of chess with a wizard? So he's very sure of how smart he is. So I think he'd probably choose chess. I welcome all challenges in such a game. Would you rather die for what you believe in or kill for what you believe in? Well, he'd kill for what he believes in. I'd kill for your beliefs too. Would you rather be able to fly or be able to turn your body from solid to liquid? Wow. Flying can get me many places I'd wish to go. Would you rather fight a lion to death or be eaten alive by a bear? I'd prefer to live, thank you. Would you rather never eat solid food again or never consume liquid beverages again? Yes. I don't need my food to be solid to enjoy it. Would you rather leave your friends and family behind or never meet anyone new in your life ever again? He said he doesn't have. So, considering I don't have any friends or family at this point, I suppose I don't mind leaving behind what doesn't exist. Would you rather be a jester that everyone loved or a tyrant that everyone hated? So the way he is, try this one. That sounds like my dream job. Would you rather rule over a massive army or a small band of troops? I'm sure he'd prefer the army. Massive army can accomplish more things. Would you rather travel the world freely but have no home or build an impenetrable fortress that you may never leave? Okay, well, the way he is, he would prefer this. I'm currently living that life as we speak. Would you rather solve problems with violence or without violence. He seems like the violence type person. If people don't need to die, then I can find a use for them later. Would you rather trust a liar or lie to someone who believes you to be honest? Would you rather trust a liar or lie to someone? I'm sure he would lie to someone. If anyone could ever believe me to be an honest man, they wouldn't for long, I'm sure. If you had to choose between killing your favorite pet in order to eat it to survive, or die of starvation, I'm sure he would eat his pet. This is the first difficult question you've asked me all day. I suppose if I had, absolutely had to, I'd eat my pet. The local innkeeper has been caught running a brothel. His prostitutes have made him a wealthy man. He has refused to share his wealth with the prostitutions. What do you do? Throw the innkeeper in prison, take the gold, give the prostitutes the gold, and the innkeeper nothing. Let the innkeeper run his establishment his way. Execute the innkeeper and the prostitutes. So back then, I think they would just leave it. I'm not here to tell a man how to run his business. An old man was caught for stealing bread for his family. Punishment for theft in my kingdom is the loss of your left hand. What do you do? Take the man's left hand, throw the old man in prison. The old man off with a warning. Probably that. Bread is such a meager thing to steal. Let the man go once. A princess from a neighboring kingdom has come seeking marriage. She has proven to be very powerful, but not to be trusted. Marry her for power, then usurp her throne. Turn her away. Court her, but keep her cards loose to your chest. Make her relinquish power before marriage. Maybe that one. We'll see what she truly made of in time. Plague has been sweeping nearby villages, but it hasn't entered the kingdom yet. Many people have fallen ill or died. What should we do? Keep the sick out, burn their bodies. Invite the sick into the kingdom for better treatment. Send your priests out to heal the sick. Let them fend for themselves. Sweeping nearby villages. Hasn't entered the kingdom. Probably that one. The damned are no longer a concern. We must focus on what we still have control over. A strange, monstrous new race has begun to appear around the land. They seem to speak our language reasonably well, but they are savage, uncivilized, and lure and trap our people to feed on their corpses. Wow. They hunt us like wild animals, and they're bigger, stronger, faster, and perhaps even more clever than we are. What should we do? Track one of these beasts and offer food to join us. Exterminate the threat. Put their heads on spikes. Begin imprisoning these beasts when they are found. Capture the beasts to unleash them behind enemy walls. Maybe that one. Could imprison these beasts, study them, bend them to our will, ultimately make use of them. A traveling bard has come through the kingdom who claims to have a magical song that can turn the tide of any battle. For his services, he requests room and board in the castle with unlimited food and the fairest maidens. We believe him to be true to his word. What should we do? Offer the bard what he wants. Execute the bard. Turn the bard away. And imprison the bard unless he aids us for free. So I think he would turn him away. Bard magic isn't something I feel we have much use for. An old baker woman has come forth, demanding that we offer her and her children immunity to tax collection. She didn't give a good reason, other than she felt like the kingdom has too much from her in her situation. She has too many mouths to feed to be able to afford taxes any longer. Then everyone has to pay taxes. Take one of her children so she has one less mouth to feed. Prison her for a month so she learns lesson. Grant her request. It's not your fault this woman has been popping out children left and right. I believe I've gathered enough information about you, your morals, your advisory capabilities, and ultimately what I should do with my kingdom over the next 12 months. Okay. Does that mean you're done with me now, King? For the time being, yes. Over the next year, I will be instituting changes that need to be made based on your answers, and at the end of these next 12 months, I will update you with a progress report of how things have turned out. If my kingdom falls into ruin, then I suppose I will take it as a learning lesson and relinquish you of your title of royal advisor and allow you to carry on in your travels. And if your kingdom does not fall into ruin, then we'll know for certain that the advice you've offered has proven to be beneficial, and I suppose that means I owe you a great deal. So in other words, you will be indebted to me. Yes, I suppose if you wish to put it that way, that would be accurate. Very good. Well then, King, I suppose I shall take my leave. I assume you have my chambers already prepared. I do not wish to sleep in a cell for the next year. Of course. Your private chambers have been prepared while our advisory session was in progress. I will have my guards take you there now. That's awful kind of you, King, but I'm a big boy. I can find them on my own. Besides, I've got some exploring to do within the castle walls before I slumber. Upon joining King Harald's ranks and being recruited as his royal advisor, many changes have come to pass over the last year. King Harald has heeded your advice in many ways, imposing changes throughout the kingdom in hopes of prosperity and growth. The progress has been documented, and the result of the report is as follows. 72% more cavalry has been recruited, archers have received 45% better training, crossbowmen, longbowmen have begun working together, and their strategic prowls have increased 42%. Swordsmen have improved their skills by 53%. Your army is 41% less susceptible to hunger pains while marching. Your troops have learned to gather food, purify water with 61% increased efficiency. Your troops' knowledge of wilderness survival has increased by 64%. The morale of your troops has increased by 74%. Your military prowess overall has increased by 81%. Your army was able to repel 5 attacks made against your kingdom. Your army managed to capture 2 outposts, 4 villages, and 1 castle. Your kingdom's population has increased by 13%. Lord Farron made 11 unsuccessful attempts to attack your kingdom, each time thwarted more easily than the previous attempt. You've suffered 12% military casualties over the last 12 months. You've recruited a total of 75% more troops than what you've lost. Your defense is 71% stronger than ever before. Tales of a great sea beast were spoken on the winds, a beast of great legend that sank merchant vessels after merchant vessel, bringing the most bold and experienced sailors to their inevitable demise at the depths of the great ocean. You decided to see if these tales were true, so you set sail to the sea to this great beast. It turns out the legends were true as tentacles began to wrap around your vessel. Magical, you quickly... as a nice bonus, it turns out that its lie wasn't too far discovered. Buggers. Trade and commerce has increased by 61%. Your spies have successfully completed 14 missions. 11 unsuccessful assassinations were carried out on opposing enemy forces. Your people are 55% happier than ever before. A raven appeared in your window upon the stroke of midnight, carrying a grave warning. A spoken tongue of ancients, upon listening to its crow, learned that the army of savage barbarians days march kingdom walls. This would be absolutely devastating, as many of your own troops are currently marching battle against Lord Farron. Overall assessment of your advisory skills, magnificent. My god, I did not keep up with that. So your secret word is bard. Take this word, leave in comments for us, as it will be used in the future. Okay. Who the hell is knocking at this ungodly hour? Open up, Magnus. We know you're in there. Thought it was over. Just break the damn thing down. So what is this? Bring him in. Hello again, Magnus. Wish we could be meeting under better circumstances. What the hell is going on here, Billy? Oh, Bill Buckles here says you two are the best of friends. Oh? Is that so? Do you have any idea who I am, magician? Can't say that I do, but I'm sure you're about to tell me. I'm Captain Wallace of King Farron's army. I serve the brother to King Harold. Continue. You see, we've been after King Harold for some time now, and he was right where we wanted him. Lord Farron was just about to crush his kingdom and overtake it once and for all, but somehow they managed to do a 180-degree turn and make one hell of a comeback. Now, a little birdie tells me that the king has a new advisor, and something tells me that you're the one responsible for these recent changes. I'm the little birdie he's referring to, in case you were wondering. Yep, I've gathered that. Thanks for the clarification, though, Billy. Sorry, Magnus. I didn't mean any harm by opening my big fat mouth. They just picked me up one day and... That's enough out of you. Now, Magnus, we want to bring you to our kingdom so you can advise Lord Farron and leave this shithole behind. And why would I want to do something like that? Because if you don't, there will be consequences. Now, we don't want to hurt you, but we can either do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. Interesting. Would you be so kind as to explain the difference between the two for me, Captain? Well, you see, you can either come willingly, nice and easy like, or we can take your best friend here and we can bash his brains in until you decide to join us. The choice is yours. Wow. Bloody hell, mate. You fucking killed him. Wowie. Oh dear. It appears you've just lost your bargaining chip and any leg you had to stand on. What a pity. How could you just... This seems to be a massive miscalculation on your part, Captain Wallace. Perhaps you should tell me again about this hard way that you mentioned earlier. Look, there has to be some sort of agreement we can come to. Oh? Now you wish to negotiate? Lord Farron needs your help. King Harold isn't what you think he is. Please, Magnus. We could really use your expertise. Yes, I don't doubt that. Lord Farron has much to offer you. Does he now? I'm sure you've heard of the staff of Mordalius. You're lying. Cross my heart, hope to die. And you will. I'm not lying, Magnus. I swear to you. We picked it up on an island not far from here. We learned of an ancient artifact located nearby, so we ventured forth. Turns out the legends were true. Wasn't even that hard to fetch, surprisingly. We anticipated a great deal of resistance in such an artifact were to exist, but the natives of the island didn't put up much of a fight. This is certainly not the proposition I was expecting when you came barging into my chambers. You wouldn't regret joining us, Magnus. But if we're going to make this happen, we're going to need to swear off all loyalty to King Harold once and for all. So what do you say? Do we have a deal or not? This concludes the Advisor Episode 1, Royal Pain. You successfully managed to advise King Harold and turn his kingdom around. Perhaps it's time to move on to bigger and better things. Or maybe staying with King Harold is the best decision you could make. You've been given the secret word as well as a final choice to make. Let us know in the comments whether or not you think Magnus should stay with King Harold or defect to join his brother, Lord Farron. Again, secret word is barred. We'll be taking your secret word to shape the develop Magnus' personality, moral code, ethics, decision-making skills of future methods continue, and your vote to stay in the kingdom or leave will determine the story moving forward. Okay. Okay, so now it's the same as the others, so thanks for watching. This was by the same people, they're done. The others that I've played, I'll get through the rest of them at some point. So, bye.